Do your timey thingy. Right all over my face. There we go. There we go. Aw. Dancing in the flames. This is the Waffle Bros. I'm Corwin.
And I'm Uko.
And today we are back with more Power Wash Simulator, and it's time to get Back to the Future because we're going to be playing the Back to the Future DLC for this glorious game. I actually wish we owned 2 copies of this game.
So we could double back to the
we could double bang
future.
The van here. This is the
it's Doc's brown van.
Yes, Doc Brown's brown van. It's time to get down to a little bit of cleaning.
Are you going to hit 88
here.
gallons per minute?
Obviously.
And take the van back in time?
And then when I stimulate the van enough, it's going to hit like 88 orgasms per second. That's what's going to happen over here. Okay, this, I'm going to be honest, this looks like a van that kidnaps children. It really, really does.
Or as he calls them, test subjects. For his experiments.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he tortures them, and then he sends their ashes back to their parents. This has gone in a strangely dark direction, which is not what I was expecting
to be fair,
from this sort of, happy-go-lucky kind of game.
When I was a tiny child and first saw this movie, Michael J. Fox seemed like a full adult to me. But he was just a kid, and he was supposed to be a high school student in the movie.
Wasn't the actual man at least 18?
Yeah,
I would have imagined
he looked pretty young anyway. What I'm saying is that Doc Brown was endangering him when he didn't have the mental capacity to decide whether he wanted to go back in time and get shot by, mafiosi
then,
or whatever.
Doesn't later on he go and make out with his mother or something? Doesn't that happen?
By the way, he doesn't get shot by mobsters. I'm just making that up.
I mean, that's a thing that theoretically could have happened. I'll be honest. There's 2 things that I remember from Back to the Future when I saw it as a child. And this must have been like on the horrifying, TV cut or something like that, because there's no way.
You missed all the boobs.
There's no, I'm talking about like the pan and scan horror.
Oh, I know.
Because this movie was way too old for me to have seen in the theater. So, and I haven't seen it since then. But what I remember is that in Back to the Future 2, I guess, there was something where they went back to the Old West or something like that.
That was the 3rd one.
I didn't even know there were 3 of them. I remember that, and I remember that guy who was kind of like Buzz from the Home Alone, before Buzz from Home Alone, who was like the evil guy who was using the sports book to...
That was in 2.
Sports record book to cheat it. Yeah.
That was in 2 because they went to the future.
So it was forward to the future, not back to the future.
And I think his name was Biff.
Biff,
Buzz, whatever. It's all the same.
Anyway, he kind of had a similar vibe to the kid who played Buzz from Home Alone. And, if everybody remembers correctly, the kid who played Buzz in Home Alone turned out to get into, legal troubles last year or something like that.
Of some of the most egregious kind, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the most egregious kind. He wasn't caught, eating babies or anything like that, but it was pretty egregious, whatever it was. Yes, that's my standard for egregious. You got to be eating babies before you're the most egregious to me.
On the sort of 0.1 on the scale is I removed the tag on my mattress, despite the tag on my mattress telling me not to remove it.
Well, it says you can remove it if you're the customer.
I know.
So, don't let big mattress push you around.
So that's a 0. That's not actually a crime, but it kind of feels like it is if you're a child. And then the 100 on the scale is baby eating.
Yeah.
So just
you're
sort of
wrong.
Feel free to rank your crimes on that scale.
Yeah.
Don't tell us about them.
Yeah, don't tell us about the crimes you committed unless you are 100% certain that they're past their sell-by date. Okay, by which I mean the statute of limitations.
Yeah,
it's their sell-by date. Okay?
Crimes have expired.
Crimes expire after some time. I don't know exactly what the time is on a crime-by-crime basis, but they do.
Okay,
They
do you
just
know what I
fucking
think?
do.
Do you know what I think should
This
be a crime?
this trim job is really hard to give. Okay, I opened up my Steam overlay. Hopefully that won't show up in the video, but
I will check for it.
we got not that like, oh no, somebody would see like that I own a bunch of games on Steam. Oh no, whatever will we do? Where is this last little like, you know, pubic hair of stuff for me to
There it goes.
it is. Is there some way to open this up or something, and then I can clean inside of you better? Doesn't really seem like it. It feels like this should be
This is not well made.
openable.
There's panel gaps.
Openable.
There's
I wonder if he might have like texted me about how to open it, and I
we
didn't
didn't
pay
listen?
attention because I'm what you'd call El Duccio Maximo, El Duccio Massimo. That's my Roman name. Don't wear it out. Okay, this is probably gonna get in there. And clean your nasty.
This thing has more panel gaps
Clean
than
your nasty trim hole, if you know what I'm saying.
This thing has worse panel gaps than the Cybertruck.
Yes, it does. Okay, can I bring the ladder over and maybe, there we go. Oh, yeah. Climmed the roof trim. I don't know. Cleaned the roof trim. I don't know what I'm talking about. You can't judge me.
Look here at the end. Okay, just skip to that part. I thought it was going to be a lot of time with you.
It is time to clean the time machine. Oh, Delurians.
Wait a minute.
People thought you were so much cooler than
Did
you
they
really
not
were.
get the, can they not call it a DeLorean? Somehow?
I mean, wasn't it called the time machine or something?
But it's also a DeLorean.
Yeah, I know, but it was called the time machine. You gotta, holy shit. All those things were popping up because I'm, cleaning this dirty dingus out real fast.
I don't think it had the logo, so maybe they somehow didn't get the permission from whoever owns the rights to the car.
The DeLorean Motor Company or whatever, also known as the DMC. Do you think they would have gotten DMCA'd by the DMC?
My head hurts now.
As it should. As it should. Look,
Before we're done-
DMCA should make everybody's head hurt.
Before we're done with it, I also have to crack out the other joke that I had prepared. I mean, ever since 5 seconds ago, which is flux capacitor. I don't even know her.
Yeah, I knew. You can just flux off. Okay. Oh, I'll flux all night. Yeah, let me clean those dirty wipers. You've been a
And then she was,
bad car.
and then she was all like, "Yo, slow down. You don't have to go 88 miles an hour."
It's like, oh, good. Your flux capacitor vibrated my pussy off.
Oh God!
Yes, off. No, vibrated her pussy to another time period. Huh? You know, that's
So then, so you're saying that in front of a dinosaur, just suddenly it drops
that's fucked up.
and makes a sound like a manhole cover, that got knocked off.
And then the dinosaur is like, a free meal is a free meal.
Oh.
You probably couldn't really hear me making like the
Lip smacking?
dinosaur lip smacking
I'm
sounds.
not going
but
to. It grossed me out a little bit, so I'm not going to make it louder.
Okay, my lip smacking sound ended up sounding a little bit wetter than even I intended, so I can understand the way you feel about that. I'm tired of cleaning these tires. Thank you very much. Where's the dirt? There's the dirt.
Oh, wouldn't it be gross?
Well, we got to start like quoting old-timey commercials and stuff like, there's something in the gravy. I almost said, where's the gravy, and there's something in the beef, which would be like a really horrifying combination of two different commercials from, the 80s, 90s, and probably earlier as well.
Yeah.
There's something in the beef. That's
disgusting.
so nasty. Okay, we got a dirty emergency cooling tank. I'll clean that up real quick for you, madam. Where's the steam separator? Steam separator.
It looks like it should be that orange
There's
thing.
the steam separator. And then where's the temporal field gyroscope? I mean, you'd think
Maybe
I'd
it's
be
that
able
thing
to,
you're standing on.
You'd think I'd be able to. No, it's definitely not this. This is the reactor.
Oh.
Reactor. I don't even know her. Could it be maybe somewhere that's not like where I'd... there's the flux box. The flux box. There it is. I'll flux capacitor until she squirts all over the multiverse.
For sure you don't want to open up the Goldwing doors and squirt this all in there.
Or do I?
The flux capacitor probably won't...
Is this the temporal field vibroscope or whatever? Okay, let's just...
If I know anything about plasma, it's that you shouldn't get a bunch of water on it.
Yeah. Hey, baby, get over here and I'll phase change you real good. How do I wash the... there. That's how I wash it.
Whoa!
It just drove off on me. Oh, it's
Marty,
gonna...
what the hell?
It's gonna do
There
its timey thingy. Do your timey thingy. Right all over my face. There we go. Aw. Dancing in the flames. So now I assume we're going to go back to like
Can you put them out?
Or can I? I can.
Yes.
Oh, it keeps reigniting, I think, because
it's time fire.
no,
there it goes.
I put it out. I thought the fuel was reigniting. You know,
See,
that would have been... I wonder if we get an achievement for putting it all out.
Yeah, this is high quality.
I gotta put out the fire, okay? We don't want this, mall catching on fire.
Meanwhile...
or that van.
Meanwhile, the guy who owns the mall is probably like, no. I have this mall highly insured.
Yup.
You go right ahead.
You go right ahead and put that motherfucker on fire again.
Did it reignite?
A part of it did, but the rest of it's staying out. So yeah, we're gonna Aww. I was hoping for a Chivo. It's back. It's back.
See what happens.
Ooh, I got an achievement for watching the time machine reappear.
Oh,
so,
yeah, of course it's back because you go back to the same time afterward.
Yeah, like it shows up again from your perspective
immediately,
almost instantaneously. There's a Hill Valley Cock Tower. I assume this is a location that shows up distinctly in the game.
At the climax of the movie.
Whoa. Well, I'll climax all over this clock tower. That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, you can judge me for being filth. That's fine. Anyone who wants to judge me for being filth is free to do so.
At the climax of the movie, people do what you're about to do, climbing all over this building, but they don't have like, a safe
power washing job,
and also like a it's not like you have a safety harness, but you at least have a scaffold.
That is true. I will endeavor to not fold like a cheap scaffold. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's stupid. But I just said it anyway. Oh yeah. Let me wash your dirty balls. You've been a bad ball, and I'm gonna wash you so good. I don't know why.
Wash them globes.
I decided to get all filthy about that, but those were dirty balls. They were dirty balls, and they needed quite the washing. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, look, I ever since I played this game, I've at least wanted to try power washing something one time.
Are you aware of the next level above power washing now?
I mean, you can always sandblast
Well, there's that laser thing and sandblasting, but they also now have dry ice blasting.
Yeah, I've heard about that. It's supposed to be cheaper than lasering, but also
more expensive than power washing,
gentler than like sandblasting or whatever.
But don't get that in your face.
More effective than power washing. That's what I think anyway.
It'll probably destroy your face if you blast your face with it.
Look, recently I've become awakened to the fact that there's these weird YouTube channels that like everybody already knows about people's like power washing YouTube channels and stuff. But there's these YouTube channels where people will like film while they're cleaning somebody's like rug or furniture that got damaged in a flooding.
Oh, and all the grossness comes out?
Yeah. And like all the nasty water comes out. It's like
the chocolate soup, yeah.
It's super satisfying to see it return from whence it came. And it's also nice to, but the problem is that because like YouTube is, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, right? I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but because YouTube is full of scumbags, by now, since those things are gaining in popularity,
someone
there
will
will
just
be
dirty
someone
up
out
some
there
rugs.
who's like, I'm gonna like buy this cheap like, or maybe ancient Persian rug or something like that,
and then just stomp a bunch of dirt into it myself.
yeah,
quickly,
and like not care that it's like, you know, a work of priceless art or whatever, in order to bait people into watching their fucking YouTube channel.
Just like people buying, buying
like a 3DS
weapons,
or whatever,
weapons, video game consoles,
yeah, exactly,
knives, and then just rusting the crap out of them.
Yup. The best ones are where they paint the rust all over the plastic, which doesn't make any fucking sense at the fuck all.
Yeah, plastic doesn't rust.
Yeah, unless it's metal plastic, which might or might not exist. Look, you never know with science, okay? You never know when suddenly out of nowhere it'll be like, boom, metal plastic, and everybody making fun of me for not knowing about it.
Because it's true that you might say you can't go back in time, but then people literally discovered time crystals. That's a real thing.
Well, it's
and
like the whole thing about
me.
like the debate about whether gravity is a force or whether it's like a sort of basically topography. Okay, some people say that gravity, there's like no such thing as a graviton, and which we don't have any evidence that such a thing as like a graviton or whatever would exist. But some people say that the reason why there's no such thing is because gravity is essentially just a topography, and it's kind of looks like that early 3D episode of The Simpsons when like a black hole forms. That's just sort of the the way that gravity functions.
So there's
on
a fourth dimensional
level.
Yeah,
exactly. And
then some people say that either connected to that or as a separate thing, depending on which version of the theory, some people say that the reason why gravity is so weak is that some of it escapes into higher dimensions.
I mean, that's also possible. It's
pretty cool.
I'm not claiming to know one way or another the way that gravity works. Okay, what I am saying is that it's hotly debated, and I hope that gravity is a force and not a topography, because gravity being a topography would be so incredibly shit in comparison to it being a manipulable force.
Yeah,
manipulable
the thing is,
foreskin.
I want to be able to go faster than light, and also have a floating skateboard, like in this series of movies.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like I can regular skate with wheels, but
you might be able to with a floating skateboard. Exactly. Oh yeah.
Although I
You're
guess
such a dirty ceiling.
How do you even ollie if you're already floating?
Flawly. You flawly.
Because like the tail ain't gonna have no pop if it's now off the ground.
What if you learned how to skate on the moon and you could do like, instead of a 900, do like a 9,000?
Yeah, or do like a octuple kick, octuple nollie heel,
and
butt
you just
flip.
All of the names for those tricks are just sort of baked in. You just call it a moon flip or something like that.
Yeah.
And then when you do it even harder, call it a double moon flip. It's just it's just right there.
Okay, so the octuple kick flip or heel flip rotation is obviously just a moon flip. If it's less than 8, you're not even trying.
Yup. And when you do 16, it's a double moon flip.
Exactly. This is what we're saying.
Yeah, maybe maybe it could be like a 6 flip is a Mars flip, and then more is a moon
flip.
Herptuple.
Okay, hexaflip.
Hexaflip. Oh, this is
dumb.
This is dumb. This conversation
is very dumb.
It's stupid. But it's appropriate for us to be talking about skateboards because skateboards were featured.
Yeah, that's how it started. I was talking about the hoverboard.
I mean like a regular skateboard.
Yeah,
was featured in the first movie. Aside
with
from
Michael J. Fox irresponsibly sketching
and inventing like sketching in the year
hey, speaking of
1969 or whatever.
Speaking of skeeting, Apparently,
Look, I'm like power skeeting right now in this game, so you can talk about skeeting as much as you want.
okay, you know that Blue Sky app that's apparently, it's like the open source Twitter
Yeah,
replacement?
it's made by like the person who made
Twitter
or something.
Are you aware that because Blue Sky tweet, people are calling the tweet skeets?
Skeets. I like it.
I love it so much.
I like it. I think that you should stick it to the man by calling it something that the man would probably prefer you to not call it. That's what I think. But
I agree with that.
Y'all are all free to do whatever the fuck you want, but do what I say. Yes, do whatever the fuck you want, but do what I say.
You could also call them squirts.
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter because I agree with the things that you're saying. Yeah, you're a dirty window. You're a dirty window. You're like Windows Vista. That's how dirty you are.
Oh, but not Windows 8, though. You're not going insane.
Nah. I'm actually not sure which was actually worse. I didn't use either.
8 was worse because they tried to take away the start menu. Okay?
Yeah. With the Metro UI.
Yeah, all of that was bad.
Yeah, that's leave.
Because first of all,
leave the start menu alone.
Not to get into like user interface philosophy and whatnot, but like the whole thing with Metro that annoyed me is that, you know, the whole Metro UI thing was it was a completely flat look, you know, tile-based system.
Our new and improved UI uses up more screen space than the old one did.
And the grossest thing, right, is that anyone who in any way looks into how sort of fashion relates to user interface and like advertising and any kind of non-fine art graphical arts is aware very quickly that there's a fashion thing that goes back and forth between things looking 3D and things looking flat, and then back and forth over and over again. So when you stop on one and declare this is objectively the best and will be forever,
then you're just
you must be wrong.
That you're going to be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and they did that, and
I agree with that.
That was very stupid from the outset.
In this particular case, Uko knows what's up. Can I go up here and wash the top with my dirty dingus?
Okay,
it is filthy up here.
It's kind of weird.
Time to wash the. Oh, am I moving this with my? Oh, I don't think I am.
You're fucking up the time.
I'm changing the future with my time penis.
I just noticed how it's kind of upsetting when you walk through a clean area in this game that you didn't clean.
You know, you're not freaking wrong. It looks
almost,
like without character. That's the way it feels.
Yeah, it also feels like somebody else cleaned it for you. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, everything should be dirty, just the way I like it. I like my buildings like I like my women, dirty.
Wet and dirty. Whoa.
Wet and yes.
Damp and dirty. Wow.
Dirty, damp, and deep, as Saul Goodman said.
In case anyone doesn't know, with large clocks like this, quite often the way that you fix them if they're running fast or slow, depending on which one it is.
You put an orphan inside of it.
Oh God!
And then when the orphan gets crushed, like it takes a second for it to crush the orphan, and then you just keep feeding it orphans until you've fed the right amount of orphans, and then if you go too fast, then you have to keep feeding it more orphans.
They used to do that, but then they realized you could set a penny or remove a penny from like on the somewhere on the pendulum, and the additional mass would speed up or slow down.
Okay, that's definitely much better than the old dare I say classic orphan method. No offense.
Remember,
no offense to any orphans in the channel. It just seems like
a medieval
this is weird
thing
to me. This is really weird to me. But it seems like in the past people were just like, "Oh yeah, I hate orphans." That's like so strange to me because the way I was raised was to be like, orphans are amongst the most vulnerable people in society.
You should be kind
to
them.
So people should be extra kind to orphans rather than extra mean to them. But it appears as if like the majority of the fucking whole world was like, up until like very recently, was like, oh yeah, you should like look, it's like you're no parents, so we should.
Like, you're a burden on society. You
What
should.
the fuck, man?
Yeah, you should just leave town.
It's like your parents died fighting in our wars. You should just fucking suffer. That's
It's
so messed up.
It really is.
Yeah, it's really really weird. And like, it wasn't until I was significantly an adult that I realized that all of the fiction about orphan hating was actually based on reality. I thought it was some shit like The Grinch. Okay.
Yeah, like nobody would really
I
be
was
that
like,
psycho.
That's bad writing, man. No one would treat orphans that way. And then it's like, nah.
We
and then
do.
like you ask people who are, older, and they're like, how did people treat orphans in your day? And they're like, oh, they treated them like shit.
Or they'll be just, you can tell they're refraining from spitting on the floor and saying that they got what they deserved for being scum. Yeah.
Yeah. It's messed up, man. It's fucking messed up.
Someday, I hope that I get to be there when some real old-timey motherfucker actually, or like real Italian motherfucker actually spits on the floor when they're pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I've never seen it in person.
I mean, I've seen people, real Texan types, people who are extremely cowboyish. I've seen them spit on the floor, but not as like a rage thing. It's just they're like, oh, I needed to spit, so of course I spit on the floor. That's what you do when you're a
I've never seen
real
that.
Texan-y cowboy type.
Is that
I've seen it.
That's like where on the floor?
I don't remember. Just like, spit on the
Not
floor.
into the trash or like.
It was like a deck kind of situation.
Okay, it
But
was outdoors.
It was outdoors.
Okay.
But,
Because I was thinking like, what, in Walmart?
but
Because I'll beat your ass.
like, I'm still not going to spit on somebody else's deck no matter
me
what.
either.
Okay.
But it's like,
I think it's like old cowboy types. They just think I needed to spit, so I spitteth.
because if I see someone spitting in Walmart, I'm going to suplex them. Okay, that's how that works.
See, this is exactly how someone comes up with premeditation. Okay?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is exactly how someone comes up with premeditation. Although, I know that in California you could no longer like use as evidence something somebody like did in a song as
That's fair
evidence
enough.
against them. And given that this is an entertainment related situation,
Also, I think
you shouldn't be able to use weird
If-
shit we say as evidence against us.
if you grab someone by their belt and collar and start to suplex them, if before you actually smash them into the floor, you yell, "I'm making a citizen's arrest," then maybe it's okay.
Yeah,
Don't try that.
that totally makes it okay instantaneously. This is not legal advice, okay? I'm not a lawyer, and as I've said before, that
Would make
that expression, that acronym, I am not a lawyer, just makes me laugh so much because it acronyms out to I anal. It's such a loving and generous declaration.
I remember when I was a child, I heard someone talk about citizens' arrests being a thing, and I was so skeptical that I had to go to an encyclopedia and look up to see if it was a real concept.
Okay.
And I was kind of amazed that it was.
What I would say is, you remember that comedian, I don't remember who it was, who was talking about jaywalking being a fantasy crime? Okay.
That was Hannibal Buress.
Okay, look.
That dude is a genius.
Citizens arrests are kind of like a fantasy maneuver. That's all I'm saying, that I wouldn't trust a citizen's arrest as far as I could throw it.
Okay, it's weird that you mentioned that thing. First of all, that's true. Secondly, it's weird that you mentioned Hannibal Buress, because I had to look up his name the other day because a bit that he did randomly came into my head, and I couldn't remember his name. I knew it was Hannibal. And this is how dumb the human mind is, okay? Part of my mind was like, is it Lecter? And I was like, of course it's not Lecter. Well, what the fuck is it?
See, whenever I hear the name Hannibal, I want to start making barking sounds.
Hannibal Barca, yeah.
Yes.
But the best part about how dumb the human mind is that I sat there thinking, what is that dude's name? And then about 2 minutes later, excuse me, I suddenly burped.
Same video showed up?
No, the same part of my head was like, are you sure? It's not Lecter? Because like that's a name I know.
Yeah, that is the way the brain works, though.
But like,
the brain is occasionally like, I am dumb. So you gotta learn to live with it.
It's one of those things where what had happened was I was doing the dishes and I needed to wash my hands before I could go and like look it up. And I had this thought, this intrusive, like, phobia, where every time that something like that happens, I think this is going to be the time when civilization collapses.
Oh, and you'll never be able to look it up?
I'll never be able to look it up. I'll be in like the post-apocalyptic village, and whenever some new travelers show up, do you remember that one comedian? His name was Hannibal. What was his last name? And he's like, I don't know either.
Yeah. You're crazy, but
Yeah.
I like it. It's a kind of crazy that I can understand, so it's forgivable. Yes, your craziness is forgivable. As if I'd be like, that's unforgivable, sir. And then like start smacking you with a lobster. That's what you do. That's what you do.
If you're serious, yeah. I guess.
Am I power washing a cougar? Yeah, you're a dirty cougar.
Spraying down the cougars.
I need to clean you. You've been a bad cougar, haven't you? Oh yeah. I don't know.
Pumalicious.
Don't judge me. And I don't care that I saw now that it's a panther. Okay, panthers and cougars are basically the same.
Pretty
thing.
much the same thing, man.
They're basically the same.
If you want to split hairs on them, it's a lot of hairs. You know what I mean?
It's more like splitting furs at that point. But
yeah.
the point is well taken. The tip is well taken. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Just also, I'm going to reiterate, the fur thing made me think of fir trees, and it made me think about how every year I want to say this even more. That none of y'all need to be feeling guilty, anybody holiday shaming you if you already put like your Christmas tree up. And whatnot.
I haven't done that, but
nobody accept any shame, because we live in an insane world.
You never know when the world could just boop,
yeah, exactly
pop out of existence. And I'm not talking about like nuclear war or anything. I'm talking about like the Higgs boson could be like,
I'm done being a thing.
That this universe sucks. Off to the other bubble universe, bitch. And then it's just gone.
And then all the atoms collapse and whatnot. Yeah. Any of this stuff. Or you could have like a random aneurysm or something. Like, I don't want to be grim.
You're going to just give people, some sort of like horrifying aneurysm phobia now, aren't you?
We all think about that when we're like in the shower or whatever, thinking like, wow, if I collapsed, no one might get to me. They think I'm having just a really long shower, and then I'll be dead.
Or like, they'll find me with my face half eaten by my cat or something like that.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, if you feel like Christmasing at this point, don't let any...
Just do it.
Yeah, don't let any jackass tell you shouldn't ought to be Christmasing.
If you want to celebrate Halloween right now,
go
do that
for it,
too.
yeah.
That's
11 months early, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you could just accuse everyone else of being 11 months late.
This is what I'm talking about.
That's, it would have been hilarious,
dude,
if it had been like, oh, by the way, in these levels,
you die. When you die, you die. You can't go. You can't go back in time. Ironically.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on up there.
Clean off those corbels.
Yes.
Or whatever, finials, whatever they're called.
Apparently, they're capitals.
Capitals. Whatever. Well, it was kind of elements of the word were in those other two words.
Yes. Yes, they were. Oh, yeah, you so dirty. It's going to be like a long-ass video, but...
We're just going to roll with it.
Whatever, man. Whatever, man. There
hey, remember?
we go.
People like that video where we cleaned up the crime scene for 2 hours.
Yes.
That was like a movie.
Dude, that crime scene simulator or crime scene cleaner game, that was fucking cool.
Well, you know what that is?
Enjoyed the shit out of that.
That is very similar to this game, not just in its overall concept, but in the fact that it's one of those, like, quadruple B games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know
it's
what you're
not
saying.
a AAA game.
It's not AAA.
It's not AA. It's quadruple B.
Exactly. Oh yeah, you've been a dirty window, and now I'm gonna clean off your nasty little sills.
Whoa.
Yeah, I fucking said it. I fucking said it. Over here. No more falling, bitch.
Dude, do you realize how shattered your ankle would be?
Oh yeah.
Whichever ankle hit first. It would be like, it would just, like, internally, your bones would all, like, compress into, like, popcorn-shaped shards.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with something too that I've been weirdly skeeved out with for, like, years, right? Okay, so do you remember the name of the military operation to kill Osama bin Laden?
No.
Okay, it was Neptune Spear, and I'm like, by which do you mean a fucking trident, bitch?
Operation Trident was probably already a thing. I feel like it was like...
I'm just saying.
I feel like it was in World War II, maybe like in the Pacific.
There's Trident missiles, too,
yeah.
so you don't necessarily want to be fucking around with that.
Operation Trident might have been one of the, like, submarine campaigns during the Pacific War.
That doesn't change the fact that it's still fucking weird that you'd be like, because of Neptune and his spear, the one. It just seems kind of odd to me. Okay, I am here to split hairs, sir.
I think Pluto's spear might have been more more appropriate,
or Mars cock,
or Operation Euthanatos.
Operation Mars cock. That's
that too.
That's a much better name.
Like, Euthanatos being the god of death.
Yes, I am aware of this.
Operation Shoot That Motherfucker in the Face.
Operation
and then
Big Dick Osiris. I mean, Osiris is also a god of death, right? I'm pretty sure anyway.
Kinda. Like, it's all wrapped up.
Thoth or somebody is the other god of the underworld, or...
Well, no, Thoth was the god of magic.
Okay, whatever. You get
Osiris
the point.
is a god of death.
That is true.
But he was
that's a fact.
He was also basically like, what do you call it, ancient Egyptian Jesus? Because he resurrected.
Yeah. Oh, Cyrus.
Yeah.
You so crazy.
Wait a minute. We need to check and see how many stars are on that flag.
Oh, yeah.
So we can know if they're, like, anachronisming.
Did something fall off here in the movie?
Yes.
Where this, gaping hole. I think so. The gaping chip.
I can't remember.
My throat is thirsty as hell.
Why do you have to drink lasciviously?
That wasn't lasciviously. That was more filthy. Okay.
What's weird is, like, in the movie, the clock was a lot more precarious than this. I believe Marty was hanging on to the clock hands.
The old precarious Klizak. Why were you making like a jerk-off motion right there?
Me?
Yes.
I was just scratching my nose.
Oh, okay, I thought you were making some sort of weird jerk-off motion or something like that.
It was a scratch. There was no jerk. There was no jerk.
It was like, I thought you were like trying to send me some message or something like that. And I'm like, is this the time to be
I don't want this
being
message.
rude to me? I'm not at home to whatever that message is.
Oh my God.
That's fucking hilarious. What am I missing here? Okay, we'll have to check the thing. Okay, we got some cock clogs or clock cogs to clean.
Dude,
clog.
Now listen.
If you have a cock clog, you got to get that shit taken care of.
Listen to me
by a doctor.
Listen to me carefully. If you have a cock clog, do not clean it out with a pressure washer. It will just go further in.
It goes in. Indeed it does. Okay, so where do I put this up so that there we go.
Also known as a throbstruction.
Knobstruction. Okay, you got the pendulum axle, which should be this motherfucker. And then we got to go clean some ceiling beams and some entablature. Entablature.
That sounds extremely
religious.
Complicated.
It sounds religious. Okay, it does. There's like a backside rim too. I
Whoa.
don't even know what the entabulature is, and is it something on the face? It feels like it's probably something on the face.
On like by the columns, those the swirly things.
Yeah, there they are. These are the entabulature. Entabulature. I don't even know. I got to use the extra long extension so I can get into her crevices, if you know what I mean. If you know what I freaking mean. Okay, this one is like so dirty. It's so dirty. It's been a bad girl, and now I cleaned some of it. Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of the filth? I must have to get up on this homie.
I saw some dirt on that right there, like the pedestal that the
Well, we'll worry about that when I'm done with this.
I have a good memory for filth.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
A pornographic memory, as it were.
Yes. I guess it must. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're gonna have to really drag your ass over here. Got to have some extra ass draggage going on.
And we got to remember to count the stars on that flag. Okay.
Oh yeah. Where is the flag anyway?
It's like straight in front of the clock.
Okay.
On its own pole.
There we go. I wanted to see if I could fire that. It's gonna be really hard to check that. Okay.
I'm just gonna assume they fucked up and didn't put like 48 or 47 or whatever.
Whatever the fuck it was. Okay, we're still missing. There's the other entabulator or whatever it is.
I'd be so impressed if it was correct.
Entabulating and hating over here. Come on, let's just assume that I'm cleaning it. There we go. Oh yeah, you're such a dirty entabulature. You need a spanking.
Okay,
Fine, I'll bring this thing over. What the fuck?
Something bothers me that's always bothered me that the town square made me think of. In the movie Back to the Future, one of the early jokes in the movie is when Marty doesn't realize that he's really gone back in time yet, and he goes into the soda shop and orders a Pepsi free, which I guess is what they called caffeine-free Pepsi in the 80s. And the guy was like, hey, you can't have it for free. It costs a nickel. Yeah. But like, does Michael J. Fox's character in that movie
seem like the kind of person to have caffeine-free?
Exactly. Does he seem like he's worrying about like what caffeine's doing to his body?
No.
This motherfucker skitches, okay?
Yeah. Skitchy as hell.
Yeah. And also, he hangs out with that weirdo and lets him do time experiments on him.
Yup. Which, probably, some of them are probably deeply sexual.
He doesn't remember those. He had his mind wiped.
Yup.
Oh.
Just like, with Rick and Morty.
Oh, no, or it's just one of those time freeze things. Like in those pornos.
Like in those hentais and stuff. Yup. Okay, window pediments.
In case some of you people aren't perverts, there's a whole subgenre of Japanese porn where somebody gets like the power to stop time, and then they use it to strip everybody off and do weird stuff to them.
I mean, it's true, but it's just funny hearing you explain it.
It's
okay, we got a
dumb.
lamp pedestal and a panther statue that I didn't finish, and a large pillar base.
It was that one over to the right.
No, it wasn't. It was this one for
okay.
sure. Okay, it's just the panther statue left. Hey, baby, get over here, you nasty panther.
Whoa.
The panty panther. That's what we call her.
Whoa.
The panty panther. Which one of you is still a doity girl? There we go.
That was pretty awesome, man.
There we go. I saved the cock tower. This was dope. This was freaking dope.
I don't think it's even done.
I mean, this like, a couple of levels we've done. Is this where are those like sexy statues under there? And they're, it's got like, there's the ass, there's her like shoulder blades, and this is the massive alien
penis. In the
penis.
1950s, it wasn't acceptable to put giant fiberglass statues of naked aliens.
Yeah, you're probably right. But we're going to stop here. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that schmecksy thumbs up button. Make sure you ring the bell to keep getting notified of delicious waffle content. Waffle Bros signing out.